we're going to look at the investment program that's going to take place largely this summer holiday break. So our owner, Chairman and CEO, Nadeem Mansouli, visited AIS Saigon shortly before the Tet holiday. And he was delighted with the quality of education he saw in the classrooms, both here in our 2TM campus and on our campuses in Thao Dien. And at the end of that visit, I'm delighted that he has authorized a very, very significant program of investment in the facilities here at 2TM and also in those campuses, Lotus and Cherry Blossom in Thao Dien. It's a wonderful and very exciting time for this school. And I believe this investment, this is not a normal level of investment. This is the most significant level of investment since this school was founded and built. It's going to be transformational. It's going to make sure we have the very finest facilities. So let us move on and take a look at what that includes. Okay, so here you are in our 2TM campus, and you'll travel around and have a look at it today. And when you come back, if you in August, you're going to see it's been transformed and improved. It's already impressive, but it's going to be even better as we develop an early learning centre of excellence on our level 1, the ground floor, and as we extend our football pitch, and as we introduce the finest play equipment for our primary students. Let's move on. Here is an example of the play equipment for our primary students. This is for 2TM. It's manufactured, compound, it meets all the highest health and safety requirements, and it's wonderful. You've got a pirate ship there. You've got some zip lines. That's going to be fun for the teachers at break time who supervise that. It's just an incredible experience the kids are going to have to enjoy themselves. You know, fun is a key part of learning. Let's move on. This is a floor plan for the investment in the Early Learning Centre here, which is on our ground floor. That will mean that a design technology and an art room that is currently there moves elsewhere in the school. As we take over our whole wing, we'll have 2 infant, 2 junior and 2 senior kindergarten classrooms, which will being designed in what Inspired calls its Play Plus style. It is absolutely cutting edge in terms of what a modern classroom looks like. This is the entrance. This is a render of the entrance to the early learning facility here in 2TM. And this is one of those classrooms. This is the infant classroom. And we move on to our junior and then to our senior kindergarten classroom. So these renders here at 2TM, similar, exactly the same design for the classrooms at Lotus, which will become in Thao Dien our early years centre of excellence in Thao Dien. Okay, so exactly the same styles there. We then, on level 2, currently we have years 4, 5 and 6. We'll be moving our years 1, 2 and 3 also to level 2. And so this will mean that our primary phase at 2TM is all on the same level. And again, the classrooms, they will be completely renovated and upgraded to a Play Plus style, which is, we've got an image here of those classrooms. I love the way the furniture works. The tables interlink so the teachers can move them around, can change the size of the groups that students are working in. You can change who people work with from one activity to another. The IT is completely upgraded. The lighting, I mean, just look at it. It's absolutely phenomenal environment for primary children to learn and work. Thank you. Here we go, similar play equipment at our campuses in Taodian. So we have, whether you're here at 2TM or whether you're in a primary student here at 2TM or a primary student at Taodian, we want you to have exactly the same high quality experience. So those are renders and designs for the play equipment in our Lotus campus. It doesn't just stop at primary. We're also enhancing the secondary school. So we'll be building a brand new black box theatre for our secondary students. And for the first time, a dance studio. Yeah. Now, our owner Nadeem, he said to me, well, it's all about science, isn't it, Mr. Standen? And I smiled and I said, no, it's about balance in a curriculum. He knows this. He was just joking with me. It's about balance. But in this part of the world, as we know, dance is incredibly important for boys and girls. And so this facility will give us the opportunity to offer dance extracurricular activities for the very first time. Absolutely wonderful facility. Thank you. And again, it doesn't just stop there, because we have on our 4th floor a wing that is currently undeveloped. And so we're going to commission it, bring it online. We're going to introduce brand new science laboratories, state-of-the-art, first-class science laboratories. And our art and design technology rooms will also move there and have brand new facilities. I don't have renders, I'm afraid, of those rooms yet. Okay, and then that's 2TM. Now for Taodian, I think we have the same images actually. Our architects have not given us renders for the Taodian campus, but it's exactly the same style as here. Okay, so exactly the same style. So this is a huge level of investment in the school, and it's going to be transformational. It's all been signed off and approved. It's going to happen, and it's going to start. We finish on, is it the 14th of June? So it's probably going to start before then. Yeah, teachers will be very busy boxing up. So the last week of term might be a little bit different to normal as teachers box things up and get ready for the move, and then the actual work start immediately. Because we've got to get as much of this completed for the 5th of August when the teachers return for some training days, and then for the 8th of August when your sons and daughters come back to school. Not quite everything is achievable in that time frame. I won't go into the details now. I'll write to parents with progress. The science laboratories, for example, have a slightly longer lead time in terms of getting the laboratory kit here. So that will take place over the Christmas holidays. Yeah, but basically by January, everything will have been completed, and the majority of it in the summer holiday break. So that's the second part of our presentation this morning. And it's now my absolute delight to welcome Hakim and Min Fung here to lead us and introduce us to the next part of our open day. Hakim and Min Fung, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Sandin. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the AIS Open Day. Today's event is a thought leadership panel discussion about service learning at our school. I'm Hakim, the head boy of AIS, and I'm thrilled to be here with all of you to explore this important topic. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our panel here this morning of Mr. Standen, Mr. Armstrong, Mr. Julian, and Mr. Diamond.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ming Fuang, the head girl of AIS. Today we're diving into the world of service learning, where academic excellence meets community engagement. We've got an exciting lineup of speakers and discussion ahead, so let's get started.
To kick things off, let's invite our executive principal, Mr. Standen, to discuss his thoughts on the topic today. Mr. Standen, could you please tell us what service learning is all about and why it's so important to us as students?
Thank you, Hakeem. Well, service learning is part of that holistic education that I was talking about earlier. And so we're going to explore one of the ways in which we give these extra opportunities to your sons and daughters to develop their skills, their qualities, such that they become very well-rounded young men and women. Now, great schools all do great academic education, and that is, of course, probably the first and most important thing that any school does. But we also want our boys and girls to grow up and mature into young men and women and to be very well-rounded young men and women as they go out into the world with the skills and qualities that will stand them in good stead throughout life. So a holistic education helps to achieve that, and service learning is one of those strands within holistic education.
Thank you, Mr. Standen. So it is clear that service learning is about teaching the whole student. Mr. Armstrong, do you have anything to add about what it is and why it is necessary to teach in school?
Definitely. Thanks, Min Fong. Building on what Mr. Standen spoke about is we want to move beyond just the basic standard academic curriculum. We really believe here at AIS about fostering a holistic education and really making sure our students develop a real social responsibility, a responsibility for themselves locally, in their local community, their national community here in Vietnam, but also globally around the world. We want them to apply what they're learning in their subjects, in their curriculum, to real-world life experiences, things that they can take with them after their time here at AIS. Now, service projects really allow students to develop empathy, compassion, and again, a real sense of duty, those really important soft skills that can set our students up, your children up, for success after their time here at AIS. Now, great schools deliver more than just academic results. They really develop their young people to go on and live meaningful lives and also have meaningful careers, again, making a difference in whatever field they choose.
Now let's discuss how service learning is implemented in our school. We have Mr. Armstrong, Mr. Diamond, and Mr. Julian here to share their insights. Mr. Diamond, how does the Australian International School incorporate real-life experiences into the curriculum to enhance our learning beyond textbooks?
Thank you, Ming Fung, and that's an excellent question, and welcome to all of our parents here this morning. So how does AIS incorporate real-world experiences into our curriculum? As you saw in our Open Day presentation already, there are so many events for students to take part in, which encourage them to build those soft skills that Mr. Armstrong was talking about. We have student-led assemblies, service and action for IB. We have orphanage visits, charity drives run by our students, Australian Business Week, where the entire Year 10 turn into business men and women for the entire week and sell their products throughout the school. We have students, we ensure that students take an active part in their learning, and we are the facilitators of their learning. We are not just teaching them, we are showing them another way and extra skills that they can develop, as well as the content in the lessons.
Thank you, Mr. Diamond, for that amazing answer. Mr. Julian, would you like to add anything about how service learning is implemented here at AIS?
Thank you, Hakeem. Yes, I would. You know, we have a responsibility as educators at this school that we take very, very seriously. We want to develop our students to be people of character, integrity, to have compassion, to have that inner strength, and ultimately to make a difference in this world. And I'm so proud that in the primary school we have service learning as a big part of what we do. And in a number of ways. We also, as the secondaries do, have assemblies each week where we gather together and we promote these characteristics of being kind, delivering, we talk about fundraising results. We have a plethora of activities and learning experiences that the students themselves often initiate. Can I just give you one example? Last year, with our PYP exhibition, we had a group of students who wanted to make a difference and do something, and so they invited some students for a sports day from Angel Orphanage. Now, many of these boys and girls had never been out of a room. They were at this orphanage, and Our students were active in promoting those students to come and experience life at this school. What an amazing day those students had. And that's just one example that was life-changing for those students. And I believe very much life-changing for our own AIS students who initiated that activity. So we have a number of organisations. We raise TET boxes, and we have our families, and it's great to see many of our PFG people here today. That's the Parents and Friends Association. They're active in organising and being involved in play dates with Angel Orphanage, and also TET Boxes of Hope. That's an annual fundraiser that we have where parents and students think of other people, think of those less in need, and they provide some real life-changing materials and equipment for those less fortunate than us. So I'm really proud, and ultimately these experiences develop the character, the integrity, the compassion, the care for others.
Thank you, Mr. Diamond and Mr. Carroll. Now, Mr. Armstrong, can you provide examples of how the school fosters character development alongside academic excellence and how it has personally impacted our journey?
Definitely, Hakeem. Yourself and Min Fung are great examples of that straight off the bat. Mr. Standen mentioned about being a part of the Inspired Education Group. And being a part of the Inspired Education Group, they have what they call their 3 pillars of education. And that's something that here at AIS we firmly believe in and strive to meet. Now, those 3 pillars of education are academic success, sporting excellence, and then also performing and visual arts as well. And we want to make sure that we have equal emphasis on all 3 of those pillars. And I think having equal emphasis on those pillars really does evoke a sense of belonging for the students and enable them to really find their passion, whatever that may be. We also have an extensive extracurricular activities program run after school. And what that does is that really extends what students are learning during the day to them more of their passions after school. So they're connecting the curriculum with their absolute passions and their interests. It allows students to develop, I think Mr. Carroll said it really well, is character. Now, character is one of our 5 key values here at AIS. It's something that we really strive for all of our students to develop. Character is an essential skills that students have where they build commitment, they build integrity, empathy and resilience. And these soft skills, again, can really set students up for success in life after AIS. Now, we are committed to developing character alongside the academic rigours, and having that connection of both values, again, really sets students up for a fulfilling life, both in their local communities after school, but hopefully on a global scale as well.
Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. That was very interesting. Mr. Julian, how do the schools support students in setting and achieving their personal and academic goals, and what resources are available to help us succeed?
Thanks, Min Fung. That's a great question. Can I say this? Every child is important. We believe that every child is unique. Every child, just as we all have our own fingerprint, every child is different. There are different needs, different gifts, different strengths, different areas to develop. And I think when we start from that point, understanding that everyone is unique and everyone is important, then we move on to, well, how can we meet and best meet the needs of each and every individual? And I think we do that in different ways. We really have wonderful teachers, as you've heard before, who know the students. They get to understand who they are, what makes them tick, who are these wonderful students. And so we do that right throughout the primary school, kindergarten, all the way through to year 13. And of course we have resources, we have school counsellors, we have university counsellors, as has been mentioned, a school nurse, we've got psychologists, we've also got student welfare coordinators, we've got homeroom teachers who all oversee and each have a real passion for seeing the students develop and be their best. So we have our students in the primary school, we ask our students to set goals, and we negotiate with the teachers on their personal goals and academic goals and goals in all areas. And so we take our time in semester 1 and semester 2 to do that, and I'm sure that goal setting is a big part in the secondary as well. So we also have the resources. From time to time, there might be some bumps in the journey, but we know about the village and it takes many people to raise the child. So we very much have that philosophy here where we're all part of the team to help the children develop and be their very, very best. So we focus. We have at assemblies, we might focus on if there is a specific need. We focus perhaps on positive psychology, positive education. If there's a need for having workshops about sleep and being healthy and exercise, we promote all of those things at different times. And we also have very, very supportive structures in place that we can meet that need and if we need to from time to time. But I want to say, on the flip side, very much each individual at this school is important, and we want them to thrive. We want them to flourish, and we have all of these experiences that you've seen this morning too to assist. And so whatever their interest, whatever their gifts are, we seek to really support them in any way that we can.
Thank you, Mr. Julian. Finally, we have keep hearing about how important it is for students to become independent learners who are able to adapt to challenges in their life. So, Mr. Diamond, how do we teach students to become independent learners?
Thank you, Min Fung. That's a great question. And Mr. Julian and Mr. Armstrong have begun the conversation of independent learners through character and through setting goals. How do we do that every day? We encourage our students to be reflective learners. We encourage them to think about what they're doing, why they're doing it, and where they want to go. This is how we encourage independent learning in all of our students. We talked about soft skills already as part of the character, and this is a central part of our lessons every single day and a central part of the reflective learning. We want students to be leaders, to be confident, to make mistakes, learn from the mistakes, and to build resilience. Nobody does it perfect first time. We're here to practice those skills, so when we go into the real world, we're capable of being successful.
Thank you to all of our teachers for sharing their insights on service learning and how it's integrated into our school culture. Through service learning, we're not only achieving academic success, but also growing into independent, compassionate, and resilient individuals. We would like to invite Mr. Sandin to give his final thoughts on this topic. Mr. Sandin, can you give us an example in your life and career where the concept of service learning has made a big impact on the student's life?
Thank you, Hakeem. I'm going to answer that by thinking about the goal, what we seek to achieve when we, take your young children, your boys and your girls at the beginning of their educational journey, and we look to Min Fung and Hakeem, who, by the way, are just two of our very, very talented Year 12s. You were appointed at the end of a very competitive process, and there are many other great leaders in this school, and thank you for today. So that's the goal. We want confident young men and women who can go out into the world and who can translate their undoubted academic ability into lives, into meaningful careers and lives that are well lived. Now, I was educated, it was a great school, but in my day, schools tended to focus simply on academics, and I had a super academic education. I loved my school, and I went on to a very nice university. And early in my career, I was teaching in a similar school, and there was a real moment of revelation. There was a student. This student was male, but it doesn't really matter. It could be male, could be female. We're just looking at this as an example. This student was hugely talented academically and went on, secured a place to read mathematics at Cambridge University in the UK. So Cambridge is one of the leading universities in the entire world, and maths is the hardest course to get a place, to secure a place to read at Cambridge University. So he did incredibly well. He was a good sportsman, and he was a great dramatist as well. So, we had drama, we had sports. And I was working in my office in the summer holidays, and at the end of his first year at Cambridge, he came back in, knocked on the door, and said, could I have a few moments to chat through? I'm having a really tough time, and I'm thinking of leaving, of giving up my place. And so I sat with him, listened, and what became apparent to me was that this was he was experiencing a level of challenge. He perceived that there were students who were more able than him, more successful than him. He was struggling for the first time, and he didn't have a toolkit to break down the problem. He didn't have the resilience, and he was beginning to really struggle and crumble. Now, we solved the problem. I got my head of maths back in, and actually we looked at the problem very pragmatically. We put him back together again, and he went off and he got a first-class degree from Cambridge University. But that was a really instructional moment for me, because I felt that as a school we were not developing people into well-rounded individuals. We were focusing too much just on brilliant academics. And so this student was a brilliant academic, yeah? But without our help and support after leaving school, he was likely to give up his place and not translate that potential into reality. So ever since that moment, my belief in holistic education and helping your sons and daughters to have the experiences that mean when they come up against a challenge, they'll have resilience. They won't panic. They'll be able to stop and think and break down problems. That is such an important part of education. And service learning, topic we've looked at today, is an important part of that too. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Standen. We can also testify to the world-class service learning environment here at AIS. Coming here from Malaysia, I was completely new to this international environment, and one of my greatest passions was global issues, global law, international and humanitarian law. And on the first day of school, 3 years ago, my dad told me, and this is a quote from Spider-Man by Uncle Parker, "With great power comes great responsibility." Now, at first, as a child, I didn't really take that quote as seriously, but as I let it sink in, as I'm in this interconnected world with so many diverse Vietnamese, Korean, Japanese, Western students, and I realized that I can really enhance my skills and develop them into what I want to be when I grow up. And I believe that AIS has given me the resources and has fostered me into these leadership skills. And as Mr. Julian has said with the Angels Orphanage, I am very happy and delighted to visit it every day. I have visited like 5 times, and I'm telling you, they are so adorable. There's this one kid, her name is Nghi. She has my heart, and I believe that with that exposure, it will help me to develop empathetically and as an individual, and not just focus on academics. And I believe that with AIS, they have fostered me and have prepared me for the world to come, and I would just like to thank AIS for that. What about you, Min Fung?
Great story, Hakim. For me, this is actually my first year at AIS, and at the beginning of the year, I was very shy, and I was also scared that how can I fit into a new environment quickly, as quick as possible, so that I can pursue my academic pathway of IB. But I was very lucky that at AIS, there is always something that is going on. There's always an event, always some like house events, sport competition, and all of those things have given me so much opportunities that I can make more friends, join more communities, understand more about AIS, and it allows me to fit in really fast. And also as a boarder, I have had a lot of opportunities to experience activities that I would never thought that I would do it if I was, I don't know, living with my parents here at Saigon. Like I went to fencing I went shooting, gun shooting, to cooking classes as well. It have given me like a lot of opportunities to try so much more new things, and also develop soft skills for me to prepare for the future as well. So yeah, I was really thankful for it. Yeah. And well, we've had a fantastic discussion today, and we hope everyone leaves here inspired by the power of service learning. And let's continue to make a difference in our community and beyond.
So we would like to thank you all for joining us. For new parents, our admissions team will take over now to show you our fabulous school. For existing parents, of course, you are welcome to join the school tour, but if not, we have snacks and refreshments on the side, and we invite you to enjoy. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.